Hello, gorgeous woman. My name is Bethany, and here at the Curated Feminine, I help women to really connect with the best version of themselves, their lives through feminine energy, through setting boundaries, through confidence, and several other modalities. So, I'm going to cover something that is really highly requested today and also really highly discussed in my world. I do one on one coaching with women, and something that comes up really often is I will have a client who has learned how to really connect with her feminine energy. She's feeling more confident. She has learned how to ask for help, how to find the best in her partner, how to become connected to her dark feminine energy as well. So all the things that I teach. But an area that she's really struggling with is sensuality. And I have found that there's several really common reasons for having trouble connecting with your sensuality. So that's what I'm going to teach you how to do today. So this is obviously a very nuanced topic. There is no like you do steps 1, 2, 3, and then suddenly you're a sensual being. But there are some mindset shifts, some blockers that I've noticed that come up a lot with women. So first, I want to cover what sensuality actually is. This will mean different things to different people, but generally speaking, sensuality is not the same as, I don't know if I can actually say this word on YouTube. I've never looked at the rules. I don't know if it will block me in the algorithm. But sensuality is not the same as things that you do in the bedroom, basically. Sensuality has to do with your ability to use all of your senses to really engage with life, to be present, to be excited about the life that you're living, to be deeply connected with your feminine energy. It encompasses several different things, but essentially it means like a zest for life and being present in your body. The ability to be present in your body is directly related to feminine energy. This is why it can be so frustrating for women who feel like they've spent years connecting with their feminine energy. They've seen so much transformation, and then they get this block when it comes to sensuality. And that's because we've spent so long being stuck in our heads that even once we've done a lot of inner work to learn how to live more in our body and less in our head and to embrace feminine energy, sensuality is like that one step further. And it can be a difficult one for a lot of women. So the first block that I've noticed come up time and time again is if you are a woman who grew up in a household that, let's say, tends to be kind of stiff and cold, maybe very high in masculine energy, not super emotional. So there's like some wounding around emotion and being in touch with your body and your senses. Or if you grew up in a household that tends to really shame the feminine and shame sensuality in particular. So for me, for example, what that looked like was growing up. I grew up in Christian culture, Pentecostal Christian culture, where there was a lot of if you dress a certain way, if you look at a certain way, and then a man lusts after you, it's all your fault. So the message that gave to me and so many women from my generation is if we are getting checked out too often, if we're getting hit on too often, if we're too passionate, if we dress a certain way, like the tiny bit of cleavage that I'm showing, if a man looked at that, it's all my fault. I was asking for it, and I've caused him to sin, and therefore the whole world falls apart, right? That is the message that we got over and over again. I was spoken to in my culture, in my religious culture, more about how to not be sexy than almost anything else. They spoke about that to us girls more often than almost anything else. And that gave this really messed up message, like our worth was somehow tied to how prudent we can be, to how, what's the word I'm looking for? Struggling to even think of the word, but it's almost like the more beige we were, like the more black and white our thinking was, the more we kind of shied away from the light, the more we dressed to cover up as much as possible, the better wife you would be one day. And that kind of black and white thinking sends a really funky message to you if you grew up with that, where your inner child thinks that if I have too much passion for life, if I dress in a way that makes me feel really beautiful, if I get attention from other men, it's somehow my fault. And I should do everything that I can to prevent it. So what we do is we end up feeling like we have to control the environment around us by dimming ourselves. And that is exhausting, and that will disconnect you from your sensuality so fast. Sensuality is a core part of being a woman. When you look at masculine versus feminine energy, masculine energy is more in the head and feminine energy is more in the body. We tend to be very physical beings, and the five senses are an incredible thing to experience, right? So a woman who is truly in her feminine, a sensual woman, is connected to how things smell, how things taste, how things feel on her skin. Like she is really present. and she truly enjoys the life that she's living. So when you're fed this message that you need to tone all of that down so that you don't attract the male gaze, it will cause you to live life obsessed with the male gaze because you're trying so hard to prevent it that you're just always thinking about, what if a man thinks of me this way? What if a man thinks of me that way? This will dim your sensuality, which makes it difficult to connect to your friends, your partner, even your children. Like if you look at children, they are so connected to their senses. So if you constantly feel like you're, I have to act a certain way and be stiff all the time, and I can't possibly have a huge zest for life because what if a man enjoys that and thinks it's too sexy? Then you're dimming your ability to connect with other people. So in this really ironic way, sensuality goes hand in hand with every kind of relationship that you can have on earth, because again, sensuality isn't sexiness. It's your ability to really enjoy your body, your life. It's your passion. It's like your mana, if you will. So that's the first huge block that I see, is women thinking that they have to control the male gaze and prevent men from finding them too sexy. So they feel like if they just tone down their sensuality, their pleasure in life, that will somehow prevent that. Honey, if a man's going to check you out, he's going to check you out. This is the thing. This is the irony, is if you are a woman who takes care of herself in any way, right? If you're getting your hair done, if you're looking after yourself, putting lotion on your skin, if you're kind, if you're interesting in any way, you're going to get checked out. That's just how that is. People will be drawn to you. So the idea of trying to dim your light to make everybody around you comfortable is nonsense. So that's got to stop. If you want to connect to your sensuality, that's got to stop. The next thing that I see that can be a really big block for women is when they're really high in masculine energy, because they think they've got to go, go, go all the time. If you've been following me here on a while, you've heard me speak about this. Masculine energy is very action oriented. So if you are really focused on doing action all the time, your ability to, again, enjoy your own life becomes diminished. This is why even if you're a woman that has a lot of masculine energy, like I do. I'm in sales during the day. I run my own business. I run this YouTube channel as well. I've got 3 children. I do a lot in a day. I'm very action oriented, but I'm also high in feminine energy. I've got a healthy dose of both. You have to be able to connect with your feminine side, with your soft side, with your sensuality, if you want to actually enjoy your own life. Sensuality is directly connected to how much you enjoy your life, because it's connected to the feeling in your body. And even if you view human beings as spiritual beings that won't be on this earth for very long, you're still in your body now. So if you're not honoring your body now by enjoying and taking pleasure in the beauty of everything around you, being truly pleasant, you're wasting your time. We're not here to waste time. Life is short. So anytime you're high in masculine energy, you tend to have trouble connecting to your sensual side. Now, some really practical ways to counteract this, besides inner work, which you can check out in other videos that I have, is to physically slow down. So if you think of a sensual woman, a lot of us will think of like Angelina Jolie, right? Women like that move slowly. That's what makes them seem so sensual. So I'm talking even slower than I'm talking in this video, because I'm teaching you stuff right now. All right, I'm not here to be connected to my sensual side in this video. I'm in teaching mode. But when you are, let's say you're on a date with your man, or on a date with a man that's not that you're not with yet. Maybe it's a new date, right? Fresh date. And you sit down. If you're speaking really quickly, that brings a fun energy or an anxious energy, but it's not going to bring a sensual energy. So a woman who's sensual, she will sit slowly. She thinks before she speaks. She slows down. She contemplates her words. She moves in a way that shows that she's connected to her body. Right? She's not flitting around everywhere. She's not speaking a million miles per hour like I often do. But when I'm with my husband, I slow it down. That's deeply connected to your sensuality. So even though there's a lot of inner work that goes into connecting to your more sensual side, your sensual energy, just physically slowing down will help to put you in that headspace. It also helps you just to be more present. And again, presence and sensuality go hand in hand. So you can be tapping into your sensuality even if you're sitting with a bunch of girlfriends. If you sit down at a winery, I love a winery, and the sun is shining and you've got a beautiful glass of wine in your hand and you're slowing down, you're speaking more slowly, you're enjoying the way the food tastes, the way the sun feels on your skin. Let's say you're wearing a silky outfit, that feels good too. You're so embodied in the present moment. That's sensual. You are more likely to get hit on then than any other time, right? Because you're present, you're really enjoying what you're doing, and men love that. but you're not here to prevent men from hitting on you. Going back to point number 1, you cannot control the way that men treat you, nor should you try to. So giving yourself full permission to be sensual and slowing it down is really key to your sensuality. Point number 3 is to really engage with your senses day to day. So I alluded to this a few minutes ago, but when you are in your more sensual energy, you're enjoying everything in the physical realm. And again, if we go back to, I said I had a very religious upbringing. A lot of what I was taught was life is fleeting. We're not going to be on this earth for very long. Everything is for the afterlife. And the focus, at least in the particular culture that I grew up in, was kind of, therefore life doesn't matter all that much. And so again, I lacked a zest for life growing up. Whereas when you are just really grateful for the body that you have and the human experience that you are having right now, regardless of what your beliefs are with afterlife, spirituality, if you're agnostic, it doesn't matter what it is. If you're able to fully enjoy your senses in the here and now, that connects you to your sensuality, right? One thing I've taught my clients how to do before is how to eat slowly and savor your food so it's delicious. Feel how it feels in your mouth. Feel how sour it is, how sweet it is. Smell your food when you're eating it, right? That will connect you to your sensuality. That will connect you to a side of yourself that you probably haven't truly accessed before. And then point number 4, and I'll give you some prompts as how to do this, is to create kind of your own sensuality menu, if you will. You want to be able to have specific ways to connect to your more sensual side that will drop you into it almost like conditioning, right? You want to learn what it is that actually connects you to your sensual side and then be able to utilize those when you want to connect to your sensual side. So some questions that you can do to figure out what your menu for sensuality is, like what things make you feel sexy, vibrant, good, romantic, so that when you want to drop into that state, you can. If you have been at work all day, for example, in a high stress job, and you want to go out for a date that night, you want to be able to access your own sensuality menu so you can drop into your softer side, so you can drop into your more feminine side. So that's why having something like this is important, because sometimes life throws you curveballs. You're going and going and going, and you want to be able to find ways to release all of that, to let go of anxiety and simply be present in the moment and connect to the side of yourself that is a lover, that is nurturing, that is engaged in the here and now. So some questions that you can ask yourself, and you can journal on this, is what experiences make you feel the most alive, right? Not just sexy, not sensual, but alive, right? For everybody, it's different, but this will, if you can connect with experiences that make you feel alive and like engaged in this life, that will actually later connect you to your sensuality. So for example, if you go on, like I love roller coasters, I feel alive on a roller coaster. It could be, this isn't me, but girl, if this is you, maybe skydiving. Maybe you love skydiving. I don't know. It could be going on like some kind of a chocolate tasting hunt around the city. It could be going out dancing. Maybe that makes you feel really alive. So you want to think of certain experiences that make you feel like, oof, that give you a zest for life. And then make a list of that. You want to think about, and the next question is, what connects me to my senses? What are my favorite things that connects me to my senses? So that could be certain fabrics like silk, maybe lace. That could be certain smells like I love cherry blossom, the smell of vanilla and sugar. I love the smell of cinnamon. Cinnamon candles really do it for me. You want to think about what smells, what tastes, what feelings, physical feelings really connect you to your senses. What are your favorite things to smell, touch, see, all of that, and then make a list of those. You want to make a list of what kind of touch do I love? How do you like to be touched? And again, I don't mean this in a sexy way either. It can be that, because I love this for you, and you should know exactly what kind of touch makes you feel sexy and puts you in that energy. But also just what kind of touch do you love generally? Is it a scalp massage? Is it a normal massage? Is it the feeling of soft blankets? Is it maybe when you're taking a bath and the way the water feels on your skin, that kind of touch feels good. It could be having your forearm tickled. I love that. It could be having your hair played with. It could be a spanking, What kind of touch do you really enjoy? And then make a list of that. And then the last thing that you want to think about is how do I like to unwind? What specific things do I like to do to really unwind from a long day? So again, could be baths, hot showers is a big one for me. It could be the sauna. I love going to the sauna. That helps me to really unwind. It's detoxing. It's relaxing. After I come back from the sauna, I feel really good. Could be fresh sheets, but you want to think about what specific things, rituals, feelings help you to really unwind after your day. Make a list of all of those things, and those things, especially kind of commonalities that you can see, that is your sensuality menu. That is a menu of things that will connect you to your more sensual side. So anytime you, again, want to, let's say this happens all the time, I've got 3 kids, you've had a stressful morning with the kids, everything's happening, and you want to go meet girlfriends and actually be present, look at your sensuality menu. So if you want a really in-depth training on this, by the way, I've got something fun for you. So I have a group called the Curated Collective. You get a monthly training, and February trainings, we're in February, the month of love, is on sensuality. And everything that I teach in here, plus some, is in there. So I also have how to utilize all of this for the bedroom. So if you want to learn how to do that, if you want a more in-depth training, it's $77 per month, but for my YouTube subscribers, it's $55. So if you want to get access to that, I've got the link down below. I would love to see you there. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave any feedback that you have on the bottom of the video.